these parts. Good evening. Brother Narayan is the silent partner in the control booth. So I'm thanking you in advance, Brother Narayan. Keeps us functioning for Zoom. Hello, Zoom people. Welcome once again. So anyone here for the first time? Oh, I thought we had, well, welcome. And you came in very good company. Yeah, good. Hope you enjoyed the evening. So we have a special guest this evening, Sister Kamla. If you were here, bless you. If you were here last week, you met her. She was sitting in the back and came and spoke a few words. And she is a beautiful, beautiful soul from Peace Village. Do you all know Peace Village? Peace Village is our retreat center up in Hunter Mountain, and it's beautiful. And we've just added 4 or 5 new buildings that are being developed to add on and really serve the community. And it's really kind of a nice story because it was kind of land that they couldn't quite sell and nobody was leasing it. We all good? Okay. And all of a sudden we came along, cleaned the place up, poured loving effort into it. Magic happens. We always get property. We have property on Fifth Avenue in Manhattan. They're miracles. The Peace Village in and of itself was a miracle in the happening. And all over the world, things just happen for us, which is a great testimony, I think, to what you can do with your energy and your peacefulness. Speaking of which, the topic tonight, again, we're finishing the month of love, compassion, and balance. And Sister Kamla is a resident of Peace Village, but you were originally here, right? How many years ago? This is her home. Oh, right before I became a student, because I don't remember you living here, right? Yeah, you do? All my questions?
Some people make an impression, and you are one of those
Oh
people.
dear. I hope that's a good impression. Well, we have grown to be very, very close, and we even led a retreat together with Sister Dorothy up in Peace Village, and last October, and we'll do it every October. So that's how I came to know you. I associate you with Peace Village, not
Okay.
Harmony House, where I just came 2 evenings a night. So anyway, we're all here this evening to help Sister Kamla, or should I say, have Sister Kamla help us?
Both ways. We help each other.
Exactly. Because the theme of the evening has to do with the topic, rather, the state of the world, state of our minds. And, you know, we can turn on the news every day. I'm on a need to know basis, but I do pay attention, but I don't sit and obsess over what's going on in Iran or the president's address to the nation or all of this, but I know what's happening. But it's all very far away right now, right? And I want to tell you a little secret. As the world invades our space, if it does, we're helping you. And the Brahmins have helped me to ready ourselves for inner peace. Now, this audience, I didn't have a chance to brief you, is not a stranger to inner peace, inner power, all the powers, and everything that we talk about, because we have sitting here, except for one new person. What's your name? Janice. Welcome. If you give me your email later, we can put you on the list and you'll, yeah. So every single, what did I start to say? Every single week we come and we learn about having inner peace. But somehow the Ukraine and Iran, for most of us, is very far away. And you know what I'm going to say? The difference between having it maybe march toward us and our having to have that, we call it soul consciousness. Here we believe that we are not bodies. We believe in reincarnation. We believe that I am a soul, that the soul lives right here. Surgeons cannot cut open your head and find it. It's a point of light. It's beautiful. And we believe in a God whom we affectionately call Baba, which is kind of like daddy, who is all love. So when we ask, we receive. When we're courageous, we have power. This is all in practice for what may happen, you know, in the not so distant future. And then we help other people. She helps me, I help you, you help. And we do have meditations that are worldwide around the world. You know, I looked up the population of Brahmins. I know it said 1 million, but I remember reading that 13, 14 million.
Mm.
But that's all. If you are sitting here, whether you become a Brahmin or not, you know, we have many, many people. We had a speaker here a couple of weeks ago who was a Reverend Chaplain, Jim. What was
Jim, yeah, from Albany.
And I had met him in Peace Village, and he is a big strapping guy who is at the pulpit every Sunday. Do you know he's been studying Raj Yoga meditation, which is what we teach, an open-eyed meditation that we carry with us throughout the day. We don't just sit in a room in the morning and then help me the rest of the day. We really carry it with us, this consciousness of our virtuous selves, that we don't have to, if someone fights with us, we don't have to fight back. And this is what we study, you know. So he's been a student of Raj Yoga meditation for 20 years. I was shocked. So people of all denominations, all religions, all beliefs come to us for the practicality of it, which is lovely. It attracted me. I was a seeker. Okay, so tonight we're going to discuss how the situations in the world filter into, I love that verb. Did you write this? Beautiful. Filter into our minds and create havoc. Oh my God. Okay. Is it possible to maintain our sanity, authenticity, and uniqueness of our natural nature? We're naturally peaceful. That's our first religion, we believe. Peace. You're a loving soul. And then the world attacks, you know, relationships, tricky. Our natural nature without allowing the energy and vibrations of peacelessness to affect us. Is it possible? Well, we're going to find out tonight from Sister Kamla. Okay. And could you tell us a little bit about yourself also? I'm curious because I don't have a bio of you in my hand right now. And I know you, but I don't know. So if you would like to, if you're comfortable doing that.
Sure, no problem.
Okay, and how you became a Brahmin, maybe a little bit, you know.
Perhaps you'll want to know what is a Brahmin. But thank you, Louise. Thank you.
Thank you.
By the way, Louise, the package is at the back.
Thank you.
So good evening, everyone. Those on the online, those who are sitting here. It's nice to see some of you, familiar faces, after many years. Sometimes I'm just a visitor passing by and I drop by. As Louise stated, I'm based in Peace Village. And how many of you have been? Oh, nice. Others should join also. It's a beautiful place. It's a retreat center, and it's opposite to where you live here, where it's sometimes chaotic. The traffic is busy, but there in Peace Village is really quiet and peaceful. As soon as you enter, it's just an amazing experience. And I watch people coming all the way from the city when they're coming for retreats. The retreat season actually will start in April. And when they arrive, of course, they're all over the place looking, and you could see they're trying to get their thoughts together. And when they settle into the retreat, which is a Friday evening, and they try to understand the experience, because some of them are quite overwhelmed by the silence and the peace. Of course, nature is beautiful. And on the Saturday, which is a full day retreat, I begin to see how they get absorbed into everything and how something is happening within their souls. And by Sunday, when they're ready to depart, some of them have tears. They don't want to leave because magic happened over the weekend, magic. And I'm not just attributing that to us being there, but I think it's a combination of nature, of the silence, of everything that's so different. And walking into a sacred space. It speaks volumes more than words. So, yes, lots of transformation. And my journey started, I don't remember now, must be 45 years, when I was a teenager and actually from South America, like my sister here in Annie. We were born in Guyana, South America. And as a teenager, I was drawn to spirituality. And I followed my sister. She was looking for some spiritual guidance or gurus or whatever you call it. And she ended up at the meditation center, meditation, the branch of the Brahma Kumaris. And she loved it. She had unique experiences. And she simply said to me, "You should go." I didn't have a problem, of course. So I used to go quite often to the center, and I had an amazing experience of simplicity. It was a simple building. They had some white sheets, a light, and that was it. No fancy, nothing. But what drew me was the atmosphere, and I felt something different. I felt the vibration. It was quite impactful, and I kept going every day and every day, and they couldn't stop me. And of course, eventually I was asked, "Could you help to do this? Could you help to do that?" And so in my spare time, I would go and give a hand of cooperation. And then suddenly the thought was, I felt like I need to go to India and visit the headquarters for the Brahma Kumaris. There was a deep pull. Not that I've ever traveled out of my country. I have no connection with India. I had no relatives because I was born in South America. I traveled, and my first visit was 1985. And when I arrived there, it was like a total different world. Because going up the mountain on the way in Rajasthan, it's desert area, and walking, into this lonely, it looks lonely place, but arriving on the mountain top, that's where you see it's hidden, all these big, magnificent buildings, beautiful buildings. And Louise, she was there also. And wow, it was cold. It was in the month of February, and there were thousands of people. And I'm not used to being with thousands of people. So some things were overwhelming for me. It was my first experience. And I remember sitting in a hall where they were having a conference, and, it just blew my mind. All these people here, what are they doing on the mountaintop? And I think I spent about maybe 2 months there, which is unheard of because they don't allow you to stay 2 months. But somehow we got the privilege. And I had some amazing, amazing, deep spiritual experience. And, it really moved me. It actually took a while for me to figure out what was those experiences because I wasn't used to having something which I can describe as a bodiless experience. I was not even aware of the physical. I was just light. And of course, I couldn't figure that experience, like what it meant. What was this bodiless experience? And I checked in with one of the senior yogis, and she said to me, "You had a bodiless experience," which did also say out of body experience. Nothing to do with the body, nothing to do with anything. You don't see anything, but you're just immersed in this light. So that to me was really impactful, and a lot of many revealing things that came to my mind. So, yes, that was the beginning of my journey, and I moved back to my country. And then later I came to the United States. So, I'm here almost 30 years and have been serving in the spiritual centers for many, many years, and now based at Peace Village with a variety of experiences, and had the golden opportunity also to travel outside different countries in Europe and Africa and Mauritius, and it's wonderful visiting all the centers and noticing it's the same, a family, togetherness, vibrations, and beautiful experiences. So that's my sharing on myself. But with regards to the topic today, the way you started, Louise, was quite interesting. It was a bird's eye view of the world situation, as the topic indicated, the state of the world and the state of the mind. So what came to me was when we talk about the state of the world, it's physical. You're seeing it, you're feeling it, you're interacting with everything. And that's a physical aspect. But when you're talking about the mind, who has seen the mind? So one is physical and one is subtle. You haven't seen the mind. Many people talk just like that about the mind. My mind is not in a good space, or he has a depressed mind, or we always use this term mind, but have you seen the mind? We haven't seen the mind. So one is a subtle energy and one is a physical energy, and they work hand in hand together. And we are very much part of the world. We are very much involved. The world consists of human beings, of course, all living creatures of nature, a combination of different things, and there is interaction between all the elements. So when we talk about the state of the world and the state of mind, we understand as a human being, and let's be practical. Let's really be practical. We are living in a world where things are shifting, scenarios are changing. And if you look like maybe 20 years or 25 years ago, the situations then were totally different from what it is now. Now it's quite intense. And like Louise said, she doesn't look at the news too much, but there are some people, they have to look to see what's happening in the world. And I remember meeting people who say to me, in fact, recently someone called and he's from another state of the United States. And he said, I'm very depressed. I'm very unhappy because I thought where I live was quite safe until recently, all kinds of situations and aggressiveness and violence and chaos was happening. And he said, this place was never like that where I lived. What's going on? And now he's in such a state that he's feeling that I have to move, I have to go somewhere. Where am I going to go? So this is just one scenario, but in general, um, rapid changes are happening globally. And of course, there are times when we don't have a television, we don't look at the news, maybe on the phone, a glimpse of something. But people do bring to our awareness what's happening out there because we are interfacing with the public. They come to us and they come for a spiritual experience to understand what's happening in their world and how they can manage their mind and how they could remove their dark thoughts that they were having about themselves. So definitely, when you look at the situation, you can't help but sometimes think that I need to have love and compassion for others out there. Because that's the only way that people, if they have an experience of their true self, they will be able to face the challenges. So when you're talking about, of course, the political situations, but also the economic situations in which there's a decline. Recently, I was in a taxi and the person, he's from Philippines and he's a man. He said to me, I have to work so hard to pay my bills, to take care of my family and, so many things. And I guess many people can relate to that situation where if you don't have a job, you don't have an income, you have a family to take care. That's reality. That's the world. And now more than ever, it's becoming such a dark world that the outer world is seeping into the human mind and it's making the human mind really, really dark. It's like being in a pit, falling into a deep pit, and people don't have answers. They don't know where to go. They don't know how they can find solution, because this is real life situation. And that darkness that seeps from the outside in affects us, because we are still human being. We're not just soul, we are in the body. If you see something happening to someone in which they're suffering and there's pain, you know what it feels like. And but it's people are being starved to death, whether it's the crisis in some of the countries which they have, the violence and the aggressiveness which you hear, it's every day in the newspaper and the news. It's everywhere, and people are suffering intensely, and that gets to become part of your inner world. It's almost like a sponge that sucks into everything. And what happens to us is that even if you are sleeping, you start thinking about it because it's gone so much in the subconscious. So who doesn't worry? Who doesn't worry? What does it mean to worry? Worry is when you think about something over and over and over and over. You think about someone else's problem, you think about your own problem, you're thinking about tomorrow, you're thinking about yesterday. And so the mind goes on and on and on. So tell me, to be in that state of mind will have an effect on the human body. You can sleep, you can even digest your food properly because you're constantly on the go. You can't enjoy life. And life is supposed to be enjoyed. You know, they say the human life is the best life. You need to enjoy. You need to have an experience of how wonderful life is. Some people believe in one lifetime, some more than one lifetime. But if the world out there is making my world dark, then what I'm going to be projecting outside will also be darkness. I'll be angry. I will seek revenge. It was all these aggressive things that I'm having. That's what I'm going to be giving out. That's what I've taken in. So where is the end of this vicious cycle? It's going on and on and on and on. And people are becoming more and more depressed. In fact, this afternoon, late afternoon, I got a call from someone and he said, the building where he's living, this woman jumped out of the window because she was going through some situation. Of course, she died. And he was going there to meditate, to send peace to the soul. So there are endless situations. Once you start, you can't stop if you listen to what's happening in the whole globe, worldwide. It is, no doubt, a dark world. So what happens? What is the reason for this darkness in the world? Because I believe human beings, as human beings, they're all beautiful, they're all good, they're all special. The only thing that has happened is the darkness, and we always see the darkness as the vices, the five negative vices is responsible for the world being the way it is today. And the vices are, can anyone guess? The five vices? Main vice, any part of this country you go, one or the other vice you're going to see. Yes, definitely. Lust is the number one. Lust, anger. Yes, lust, anger, greed, ego, and attachment. And lust, we know it's a perverted form of love. People think that lust is love. It is not love. Love is pure. Love is unconditional. Love does not hold on. Love gives. And because of this misinterpretation, as people are seeing lust as, did you see in the news what is happening or in people's life in the name of lust? They're killing each other. Two people say they love each other, and the next moment they're fighting and they're squabbling and a lot of things are happening. Real, pure love does not give sorrow. Real pure love does not give sorrow. So there is lust, which is all over the world. It's like a fire burning, consuming human beings. And then there is anger, which is also a big fire. When people are angry, what they do? What do they do? They fight, they quarrel, they argue, they burn a building, they cause harm. But what is causing this anger? Why do people get angry? What is the reason for this anger? Hmm? Anyone? Expectation, yes. But I think the human mind is sometimes is such an interesting thing to think about. It that they have the human mind, it just desires, I want, I want, I want, I want all the time. And when that want is not being fulfilled, then there is expression of anger. Now they see the little child, and someone told me when she used to take her child to the store, the mother used to do her shopping, and her little daughter, if she wanted a toy and she didn't get it, she would throw herself on the floor and she would scream and scream until she got the toy. And of course, that trait grew with her as she became an adult. Yes.
I think anger forms another purpose for most people because I always feel, and I watch this, I detach and watch. Um, Anger is easier than fear.
Mm-hmm.
And I think anger is a tool for many, many people in many situations to mask fear. Would
To
you
mask
agree?
fear. Yes, I do believe that. It's something to
It's
show you are
powerful.
powerful and you're strong and you can able to cope with situation. But inside you are like a little mouse. You're inside, but of course you have to show. And it's also an expression of ego, you know. But before that comes greed. And some people are so greedy. They consume so much for themselves and then they hoard a lot of things and not thinking about another soul out there who needs something. And they say there is enough for man's need, but not for his greed. Interesting saying. We have enough resources to feed everyone, but some people are more greedy than others. And they just want to keep taking and taking and taking. And I always look at that as like a bottomless pit. No matter how much they put, they still want, keep wanting and wanting and wanting. And it's never fulfilled. And it's coming from a deep space of the soul inside is empty. The soul doesn't have anything. So it wants to fill up that to feel secure by accumulating and accumulating. I know children, they have a room full of toys, and yet still they want more and more and more. So it's coming from a lack, you know? And maybe it makes them feel, yes, secure and safe, and they have everything.
That's it. They're all fear-based, I think, all of the vices. The root of it, the very basic root is fear. Fear of loss, fear of whatever.
So it's also like insecurity, fear of
Mhm.
loss. And that's what we're coming to, the ego, the arrogance of people today. Arrogance, which is like a mask, powerful, strong. And it's as if, you feel you are the most powerful being, or people should listen to you. You see, very, very arrogant people only listen to themselves. They don't listen to they can't hear. An arrogant person cannot hear anyone because he's so consumed with his own self. It's until he becomes humble, then maybe he will understand. But I've seen it. I've actually been looking at various situations where if someone is arrogant, then that will be the cause of his downfall. And he probably wouldn't even know that. Even they talk about rulers or leaders because of their arrogance, that's the basis for them to fall from grace. And then we have the attachment. Now, all of us, I think every human being in their sane mind understand that we will not be here forever. We'll not live forever. We are going to leave this body, or the body will leave us. Something will happen. Everything that I own, everything that I possess, everything is going to leave me. So if we understood this, why are we still holding on and attaching our hearts to so many things? Then there is a saying from Dr. Peter Fenwick from, I think he passed a couple of years. He's from UK. And he said, the way you live, that's the way you're going to die. And I've actually seen that. People who are so possessive, whether it's with people or things, at the time when the soul has to leave the body, you can see how they're struggling. You can see how much pain there is. Can you imagine when you think you have to leave all the things you have accumulated, all the wealth and the property and the cars and the this and the that, and when you're thinking now, I have to leave all of that, how much pain it's causing the soul that I have to leave all these things. No? And famous people have said that I'm leaving without taking anything. I came into the world with nothing, and I'm going to leave taking nothing. So it is when we have the wisdom, why don't we understand and accept life and understand the secret of life and move accordingly? So coming back to this whole aspect of the mind being the sponge is that now when we realize that what is causing me harm, it's all the things that I'm harboring in my mind, all the negative things that have seep into my world, and that's has become my world. I can't see anything different. And the only way to change this dynamics of my inner world is when I have the wisdom and the power. One is to understand, but the power is to transform it. Wisdom is not enough. Many people are very wise, but they do silly things. They don't have the power. And here, this is what we teach is the knowledge and also meditation, which is a form of power, to shine that light into your heart and to bring that light back into the self, which is called the dignity in the self. And to start believing in the positive self. So there you are working with yourself, you are meditating with positive thoughts, you're having positive affirmations, and you start believing. Because if thought is supposed, or the mind is supposed to be the most powerful energy that exists, the most powerful energy that exists, why am I not using it for my own inner transformation? So here at the Brahma Kumaris Center, this is one of the things we've been doing. We've been practicing meditation, and we've seen how it has changed the lives of many, 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 many souls. It doesn't matter if they were criminal. It doesn't matter who they were. They weren't born that way. They became like that by chance, because of their lifestyle and the influences of the world. But I have the ability to transform my life if I'm ready to open my heart and to take out all the things that I don't need anymore, that is causing me pain and sorrow and suffering, and replacing that with self-love. It's very important to love the self. Love the self means to have beautiful, happy thoughts and keep yourself healthy, because when the mind is healthy, body is also healthy. Of course, we all have to go through different challenges, but you can go through the challenges, or you will have to go through challenges. But if you are practicing meditation, it will be like a breeze, right? It will not affect you mentally because you know the body has to go through things, the soul is fine. And a meditation has its benefits. It keeps you light, It keeps you nurtured. It keeps you sustained. And that's why we are addicted to meditation because it makes us, we have seen the benefits of it. And for example, the things I would worry about many, many, many years ago, many moons ago, I would not even think about it. It's disappeared. So many instances I could see I've removed myself from so many things unnecessary because I got the answer. I got the answer. And I had to do my own experiment. It's not what somebody tells me. It's what I've heard, and I've implemented that into my life. And I'm speaking on behalf of meditators that have noticed the transformation. And that is a testimony by itself. The transformation speaks for itself. And there is no going back to that old world in my old mind. It has been transformed. And the amazing thing is that there is the power to face any challenges that are going to come. Challenges will always be coming. But if I stand strong to it, if I'm stable from inside, then I'll welcome the challenges. I'll see through the situation. And because I have the wisdom, I'll be able to understand what I need to do at the right time. You want to say something, Liz?
Just gonna, if you're ready to ask if they have any questions.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Please. Anyone wants to ask any
We
questions?
have 20 minutes.
Sure.
Yeah, anybody have a question for Sister Kamla?
Or you want to share something
Or
based on the
share?
topic? Anything. Please feel free.
No,
Annie?
no, okay. Could you
She's
expand?
saying something at the back.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Sister Kamala, thank you so much. I'm wondering if perhaps you could make a comment connecting the state of the world as described and the power of the mind in terms of managing that
The situation.
condition. Thank you.
Mhm. Well, like I said, when you listen to all the situations that are happening, there's not much you can do physically. You're aware of it, the suffering and whatever is going on. But there's something we sincerely believe in, and that is meditation. It's an energy that can reach out to anyone, any place, any part of the world. And something that we do here all the time. And specifically, when we have the World Meditation Hour, collectively, we sit together and we spread those vibrations to heal the world, to heal the pain, to inspire others, because somebody, somewhere, some part of the globe can feel those vibrations. And perhaps those vibrations will help the person to think differently or to have hope or to have faith and to believe in themselves. As such, the world continues the way it is going, but we feel that if souls are touched by pure vibrations, they will come to a place where they will get their answers. No. And so we continue to do that globally. No?
I was going to ask you, going all the way back to the discussion of lust, can you tell everyone your definition of lust that is not physical? Like the Buddhists, I think, believe in, they call it grasping. So it's not just something that is sexual or, can you expound on that? What does lust mean when it's not boy, girl, or girl, girl, or boy, boy, I should be.
The way we see it, no. Lust, why it is on the top of all the vices. The way we see lust is called body consciousness. Being body consciousness. We are only conscious of our body, and we are conscious this is how on the path of the spiritual knowledge, how the BKs see lust as a person being totally body conscious. They're only thinking about someone else's body. It is quite sensual actually, because it's mentioned in the scriptures that if you could go past this physicality And the mind is not being entertained by all of these lustful thoughts. And then if you go past that and you're able to conquer that, and even they say, I think I read about Christ, that was one of his test paper. And there are many saints and holy people who had to pass those, we call it a test paper, where they are being attracted or pulled against their senses to something. And they have utterly no control at that time. But because they believe in whoever they believe and the power is there, help them to conquer that. And so I've read many stories in the scriptures that talk about lust is, there was a time when there was no lust, when I talked about the pure love. We lived with each other. We had a beautiful relationship. We had no expectation. We had no desire. It was such a wonderful time that is going to come again, which is called the New World. And the vision changed after some time. The vision from what we see as soul conscious, respect for another person has changed to being body conscious. And just, it's amazing because this is what's happening in the world, that because people are so body conscious, they have no respect for another person. There is a lot of the religious wars that are taking place. Now, if we talk about we are brothers and sisters, brotherhood, then why we are fighting? You're my brother. Embrace, love. No? So body consciousness in essence.
So we're going back even further than Christ to Eve with the apple.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, Adam. Take a taste. It's so good.
That's
so when we say,
temptation.
so that's temptation, right? That's the cousin. But it's she really, she.
But Louise, if you have the power of discernment, you recognize what is evil, what is not good, and what is good. So when there is the power of, when there's clarity, when there is the power of discernment, then I can see through things. And I can see through and be able to acknowledge, okay, this is what it is, and act on the basis of that.
And it's number one. It's the number one vice in
Yes,
everything we read.
yes, yes.
Any questions about that? You good?
Anything? Are
You
you
good with
okay?
lust?
Anger,
Okay.
greed.
Well, yeah. Okay, so we have all these vices that you've enumerated so clearly. Here we are, humans we believe, have lived over and over, so these vices get deeper and deeper and deeper, and we want to get rid of them. Do you have any practical advice for how to become we may not be pure tomorrow, but how do we go on a journey of vicelessness when the whole world around us is so lusty and greedy?
Mhm. You said something interesting, Louise. You said, when you activate these vices in you and you keep using them over and over, they become stronger and stronger. And you become a victim of your own self. And then you wonder, how can I get out of this? It's like a trap. You trap yourself deeper and deeper. And now it seems almost impossible how do I get out of this? So the only way, when the soul is ready, the light will come. And so when there is a feeling that from the heart and with honesty, I want help, that's when his light will come to you and show you the path and break those shackles, open up the cage and free you like a bird. But your heart has to embrace the light, and you have to be very patient with yourself. It's not like she said overnight, you're going to see that happening, that change. You will start noticing a lot of changes. And of course, that comes with the recognition and the connection with the supreme light, the light of your understanding that gives you the power, gives you the strength to overcome anything negative in your life. And I think without that, impossible, impossible. So open up your heart and allow him to do the work and just embrace that love, embrace the light, embrace the peace and the joy. Life is like a breeze, you know. I listen to people. Yes, go ahead. No, go ahead before I love when people can ask and share, and I hope Annie's going to ask something.
Thank you so much. I love everything that you're sharing and reminding me of this evening. For myself, what's also very beneficial is once I have the knowledge and hopefully remember what, let's say, the five vices are, or and I'm in touch with what the faults are of those vices, what the negative results are of entertaining or practicing those vices, and I hold that, I can remember that and make a different choice. That helps
Definitely.
me very much. And I might write it down, review it,
Yes.
whatever
Yes.
techniques support my releasing that negative practice.
That's the answer, actually, not to focus on what is negative in you. Start with the positive. We don't want to think about all the things that we have that are bad. Think about that which is good and that's the stepping stone to advancing into the soul conscious experience. It's a confirmation of yourself and opening and accepting yourself as you are a loving being, you're a kind being, you're a compassionate being, you're full of wisdom. It's your own commentary to yourself. And it helps you because it's an affirmation. And the more you say it, you become it. And you're creating a new trend of pattern or habit in yourself. So reinforcing a positive cycle. And when you do this over and over, it becomes stronger and stronger. And ultimately, the things that are negative are going to fall off the wayside.
Yeah. There's another wonderful thing that I've learned here for me is that if we're surrounded by vices and we find ourselves succumbing, if our natural state is peace, if our original religion is peace, then I have an opportunity whenever someone is behaving in the vice world. I have an opportunity to change what I'm thinking and not fight back. Talked about that last week. Not succumb, do as the other person's doing and not just criticize them or condemn them, but really just step back. And so I'm going to bring up a word I don't think we talked about yet, detachment. For me, detachment. We watched a senior sister, Judy Rogers, interview Bridge Mohan, a very, very senior soul who was intubated and on his deathbed. She did an interview with him. Intubated. He was intubated. And remember that? We watched the interview. So to be detached from his body, he was doing his final, he actually died, I think. He left his body very shortly after, maybe a few days. And I was just marveling. And I met Judy at Peace Village and we're standing in the doorway. I said, wasn't he intubated when you interviewed him? She said, yes.
So can I pick up on this detachment?
Detachment.
Now, not many people like this word detachment. They feel detachment means you don't care. Detach means you take yourself away from everything and you're detached and you're not interacting. But in a spiritual sense, detachment means that you care. It's when you become emotionally involved in many things, it makes you blind. You cannot sense what another person needs. You cannot have the feeling of compassion and care versus attachment. You'll be actually operating on a basis of attachment rather than care and compassion. But when you're detached, and just like a doctor operates on a patient and he's detached. He's not emotionally involved while he's doing his surgery. But in fact, he's doing his best so that the patient can recover and be healthy. So detachment means you have to step back to be able to see the bigger picture. When you're involved, you can't see it. When you step back, and that's a sense of detachment, stepping back, and even stepping back to see your own self, seeing how your mind is operating, thoughts you're having. Step back and notice. You'll begin to notice a lot of things, and you'll begin to care more for others. It's a wonderful experience, actually.
Yeah. I have a family member that I am very attached to, love very much. And the person is suffering terribly, reading the news, doing all the things you were talking about before. The old me, before I came here 10 years ago to study, I would have been trying to fix the person. I would have been trying to just talk sense into them. All his fears are coming to fruition. And he is having I said he didn't, is having bad dreams. Now, to detach from that, me, and to send all these vibrations you've spoken about, he doesn't know what I do while he's sleeping. You know, he doesn't know. I bless him. I take the energy from God and I bless him. And we have power that we never ever, I have power I never thought I had. So there's a softness that I grab onto when I can, just to serve him, that I never was capable of before. Am I making sense? Is that clear?
Mm-hmm.
So instead of being the lecturer that I always was and trying to fix, which women do a lot, there's a sweetness, and every now and then it really comes through.
So the subtle energy reaches out to the subtle being. We talk about the mind, the soul. It's subtle. You can't see it. So you can send that pure thoughts, good wishes to another soul that's very subtle, and it reaches to the soul. And people perhaps don't believe in it, but does work. I've seen people who are in the hospital and they're out of their minds, or they're unhappy or sorrowful, and you just stand there, like Louise said, and just send vibrations. It will reach the soul. It will reach the soul. It will give them peace of mind. And we have the ability to do that, to use the positive thoughts. So I'm just going to check in 5 minutes.
Yeah. And for us, it helps us, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we talked about unvictimizing ourselves tonight, right?
Mhm.
We don't have to be the victim, no matter what's going on. Would you guide us into a lovely meditative, because you did speak about meditation as a real big tool for peace.
So for those
Thank
who
you.
have never, thank you, Louise. For those who have never meditated, let's go into a bit of meditation or reflection, and I will guide you with some thoughts. Just relax, be still, and follow these thoughts in your mind. You don't have to repeat anything. And perhaps we'll have the change of light and some soft music. So settle into silence. Take a moment to be with yourself. How often do you enjoy being with yourself? In sacred silence, gently, just for a short while, disconnect from everything around. Settle into the stillness and experience the purity of the self, the innocence, of the soul. The soul, a being of peace, a being of light, filled with the essence of love, kindness, care, and compassion. For the self and for all living beings. In the sacred silence, let the heart embrace the light of love from the Supreme, the Creator, the most loving being. His love purifies the soul. His love heals the pain, the sorrow. There is a feeling that this supreme light is available at all time. When I choose to, all I need to do is to gently take my mind into the space of silence and let the light in. And see the magic that happens. Silence and peace. Om Shanti. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sister
you, Louise.
Kamla. And before we leave, you must come on Saturday, 10 to 12. You want to tell them a little bit of, you're part of the program, you're right?
Yes.
Facilitating with Sandhya, Sister
Yeah,
Sandhya?
all of us will be there. And in essence, the program that we're having on Saturday, this coming Saturday, is called a heart-to-heart conversation. And it will give you an opportunity to interact, to have conversation. And what has inspired me when I was in one of the groups, the conversational groups, I was inspired by the way people are using beautiful methods to change their life or to face challenging situation. And it has really inspired me because the more you listen to others, the more you're able to learn. So yes, it is this Saturday from 10 to 12 here at Global Harmony House.
Yeah, enter from the bookstore. And it's not Zoom, correct? It's all in person?
In person.
In
It's not
person
a-
only. And I know last time we did a Saturday conversation was a while ago. And I
Yes,
know we had
yes.
standing room only.
And
which
we
was
have
beautiful.
a lot to say, right?
Yes, we did. And it's usually mostly women, but men are invited to come also.
Yeah.
So I hope I see you all. Hope we see you all on Saturday. And we have a delicious handmade this morning, toli, which is halva, isn't it? Right? So we'll give you that on the way out, a little blessing card. And thank you for coming and braving the weather. Good to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Zoomers, for tuning in.
Thank you, our sound brother.
And thank you, Brother Narayan, right? Om Shanti.
Shanti. Bye.
Beautiful. Thank you.